That'll get the day going. Hey, get the day going with a little movie here. We have a movie that opened last Friday, and this is a good one. I thought maybe we'd go back and take a look at it. The movie takes place right after 9/11. It's called 12 Strong.
19 men attacked our country. The 12 of you will be the first ones to fight back.
It's us. We're going in. 50,000.
Al-Qaeda fighters.
You're just an army of 12.
You've just been handed the most important mission in the free world.
Hold on. Our boys are gonna ride into battle on horseback?
Chances are we are not gonna make it out of this one. We quit now. What happened back home is gonna happen again and again. Each of you got to make this decision.
Nothing I'd rather do.
I'm in. Thought you'd never ask.
Okay, we're talking about a great cast here. Rob Riggle is in it. That seems a little bizarre in the beginning, but you'll find out why it was really particularly cool for him to be in it. Chris Hemsworth, Michael Shannon, and this takes place right after 9/11. We're going to go into Afghanistan and get the guys who helped cause that terrible disaster. Right. And when they get there, things aren't exactly the way they thought they were going to be. They thought, they use all their modern equipment, 12 guys in there, they're the Green Berets, the best guys in the world, but they can't get around without horses.
Okay.
Horses end up being a part of this whole story, which seems very odd in the 21st century. And it's a terrific film.
Oh, okay. Like a
So it's based on, it's
That's
based
a reality.
on
Yeah,
the truth.
It's real.
You know what, these brave men and women, their stories, I know that they might never want to relive them, but their stories deserve to be told. And to be able to see that and for us to be able to appreciate even more what they've done is amazing.
It's amazing you said all that without saying Chris Hemsworth's name, because I know how much you like him.
Well, I was trying not to involve that because it's a very serious topic,
Her
and
face
I do.
lit up as soon as I saw
Well,
him.
that is a sidebar to it. That is a sidebar, but I got teared up because when I think about, not because of him, when I think about what those brave men and women do, it's just it's beyond.
Right. We'll go
words.
with that.
And he was surprised.
No, I said that's why you got teared up. We'll go with
Chris
that.
Hemsworth was surprised also about this whole story, how it all went down, and that's probably why he did the film.
I love the story. It's a story I didn't know about, and then read the book and was fascinated by it and the fact that it was a true story and one that I think a lot of people are unaware of. But the aesthetic of this film, we haven't seen horse-mounted cavalry charges since the First World War. And so to have modern warfare and weaponry and armor on horseback, I think is visually pretty stunning and unique.
Pretty good, huh? That's how I felt when I saw Bo Derek running down the beach in 10 when I was a young man. That's the look on her face when we saw Chris Hemsworth riding that horse in Afghanistan.
Gosh.
Again, it's not the movie. Why wasn't this a fun movie so that we could joke about this a little bit? It's not the movie to do this.
There are
I'm
no words.
Not going there. Not going
Michael
there.
Shannon is in The Shape of Water. This guy's in a lot of stuff. He's a great actor. Every time you see him, he's one of the best. And he talked a little bit about what these guys did, and of course how it relates back to 9/11 and the monument there.
It's an important story. It's an important story. I'm not sure how it'll affect people. I think it'll affect different people differently depending on, you have family in the military, what your own background is. But, there's a statue dedicated to these guys at Ground Zero. And I live in New York City, and I'm always very moved when I see that statue now, and I feel very fortunate that I know what it is and why it's there and who those guys were. And I think that's important. I think everyone should know.
So when you go to see this movie, you see Rob Riggle in it. And of course, you're used to seeing him on Sunday morning with the NFL, and he does a lot of the jokes and the skits and the parodies and that kind of stuff. So he's a funny guy. So you wonder, why is he in this movie? Well, he's in this movie because he was actually one of the guys that go and be these fellas.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Check this out.
I have a unique connection to this film and to the story. I had the privilege of serving with 3rd Battalion, 5th Special Forces Group in November of 2001 in Mazar-e-Sharif, Afghanistan. I was at Central Command at the time, and I was sent over, even though I'm a Marine. They sent me over to join up with these guys, and I ended up working on the command element for Lieutenant Colonel Max Bowers. So for a while there, Colonel Bowers was my boss. I was a young captain at the time, and like I said, I had the privilege of working with this outstanding unit and helping in whatever way I could with their mission on the ground once we were in Mazar-e Sharif. Now, I wasn't a gunslinger like these guys, but it was a privilege to serve with them nonetheless. So now it's kind of interesting because I've come full circle in the sense that I'm playing my old boss. And it's not very often you get to play your old boss from 15 years ago on the big screen. So it was quite an honor.
Who would have known that?
How's that for a piece of information,
That's amazing.
huh? Yeah, and the movie's amazing. When you watch this story and to see and to hear how it turned out, all the things that happened, what these guys had to go through, it's a miracle it all worked the way it did.
Great. Kim, your wife,
Yeah.
said must see.
Yeah,
movie.
so it opened last Friday, so go see it and check it out. And Rob Riggle, funny thing about that is, I just heard from Nick from Hilarities that he's coming to town.
He's a comic. He's been here. He's been on the show. I didn't get to interview him,
He's so
unfortunately.
excited, but I'm more excited.